binoculars. Welcome to Viva Barca and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on the latest developing stories. We start with Usman Dembele talking about his injury update. It has been reported that the Barca superstar is targeting a return for El Clasico on March 19. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then secondly, talking about this transfer news, as it has been reported that Barcelona are confident of signing this Brazilian Wizkid who could cost 30 million euros plus variables. We are also going to be discussing about that. So guys, before we get right into the full story, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please endeavor to subscribe, turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Barcelona superstar Ousmane Dembele had been in fine form when he was struck down by an injury during the La Liga encounter against Girona. Ever since, there has been speculation about his potential return to action, with reports suggesting that the French international could be sidelined for 5 to 6 weeks. Now, Javi Miguel of AS is reporting that Barcelona's medical staff and Dembele himself are targeting a return for the Clasico against Real Madrid at the Camp Nou, which will take place on March 19. It essentially means that Dembele will miss both legs of the UEFA Europa League playoffs against Manchester United, which will be played over the next couple of weeks. At the same time, the 25-year-old winger will also be out of the Copa del Rey semi-finals first leg against Real Madrid, with this Clasico set to be played at the Santiago Bernabeu in the first week of March. As per the report, the recovery plan for Dembele has been laid out clearly. The former Borussia Dortmund man will continue undergoing physiotherapy for the next 15 days until his muscle injury heals fully. So from that point on, Dembele will carry out his rehabilitation on the field for another 15 days, increasing his training workload day by day so that he can be cleared to rejoin the rest of the squad. Given the history of his injuries, Barcelona staff are wary of rushing Dembele back into action and want to proceed with caution. The 25-year-old thus could miss as many as 7 weeks of action. He has already sat out for matches against Real Betis and Sevilla. He will now miss games versus Villarreal, Cadiz, Manchester United, both legs, Almeria, Real Madrid's Valencia and Athletic Club before finally making his return against Los Blancos in the La Liga Clasico at the Camp Nou. Ousmane Dembele has been out for some time now with his injury and is still expected to be out even more longer. And of course, a big blow for us, a big miss, even though we have been able to cope without him. Dembele has been in superb form this season, doing so well. And of course, after a long time without suffering an injury, almost a year or so, Dembele have picked up an injury. And we hope that this injury does not mean that he is going back to his norm. I'm talking about the way he was before. Always injury, every week, week in, week out, coming and going. Hopefully this should not be the first of many. He should recover very well. The medical staff want to ensure that Dembele returns to action in such good conditions. I think the doctor right now, the head of medical staff, Dr. Richard Prona, is a very experienced doctor. I think he was not there when Dembele was having that injury every time. I think when Xavi came as manager, ordered Barca to bring Dr. Richard Prona back, who has been Barca doctor for a lot of years before leaving the club. He's the one in charge of the medical staff, and I definitely think that with him, I think we don't have anything to fear about Dembele's issue, because it's all about now Dembele returning to 100% fit. Not like they should force him to return, because right now we are still playing well, we are still winning games convincingly. That is the depth that we currently have in our squad. Even though we need some of our forwards to step up their game, Rafinha has been doing a good job after starting the season very slowly. I think Rafinha is doing what many fans wanted to see. Rafinha is one of the best players now in the team. He's in the form of his life, and I definitely think he's doing a good job. And of course, when players up their games like that, why won't we prevail in the squad that have a lot of talented players like us? So it's good to see players step up the game when Usman Dembele will not be around for some time. So this report is trying to say that Dembele might be targeting the El Clasico return. The El Clasico in La Liga takes place on March 19. That is 1 month from now. And of course, hopefully Dembele can make it to that tough encounter. But before that, there will be some El Clasico, Copa del Rey. We quite remember Barca were drew with Real Madrid in the Copa del Rey semi-finals. And definitely Dembele will not play that Copa del Rey games. But he is targeting the El Clasico in La Liga, which will take place on the 19th of March. Then on to the next story of discussion. Despite not making too many moves during the January transfer window, Barcelona have kickstarted their plans for the summer ahead, with Victor Roque believed to be one of their top targets. The young forward from Brazil currently plies his trade with Atlético Paranaense, aged just 17. He is regarded as the next big thing coming out of the Brazilian football, along with Palmeiras starlet Hendrick, who agreed to join Real Madrid in 2024 earlier this season. After missing out on Hendrick, Barcelona are determined to sign Victor Roque, and as per Sport, they are even confident of securing the services of the young forward due to a series of reasons. For one, the club has taken the advice of Deco, who has an excellent relationship with Luis Felipe Scolari, the football coordinator for Atletico Paranaense. Working together, the club are confident that they can find a way to secure the deal for Roque. Barcelona are further helped by the fact that Atletico PRO are willing to sanction the sale of the youngster by accepting payments in installments. This could be vital for the Catalans as they are currently battling with La Liga over financial fair play regulations. The report adds that Roque has been valued at around 30 million euros with variables worth up to 5 million euros. Barcelona are certainly not in a position to afford such an amount, so the club must come up with an imaginative solution to sign the Brazilian. From a technical perspective, Vitor Roque is being targeted as a direct long-term replacement for Robert Lewandowski. His youth exuberance, coupled with his qualities as a modern forward, makes him an ideal candidate for Barca as they look to nail down a solid core in the attacking department in the years to come. So it will be interesting to see if Barca plot to fund the move for Roque by sanctioning the sale of Ansu Fati, who has become a target for both Manchester United and Arsenal. So guys, with that we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye.